President Ramaphosa stood frozen. Surrounded by tens of thousands of ZCC pilgrims, he expected tradition, he got something else entirely. Whispers of prophecy, a chorus of silence before eruption, and a gesture from the bishop that no one saw coming. What happened at Moria this Easter shook not just the president, but the entire nation. This was no ordinary pilgrimage. This was history. This was divine, or was it? Each Easter, Moria becomes more than just a gathering, it becomes a city of faith, a beating spiritual heart for millions of ZCC followers across South Africa and beyond. But this year, in 2025, as the golden sun rose over Limpopo, something else was in the air, anticipation, tension, maybe even prophecy. Because for the first time in over a decade, a sitting president walked into the sacred grounds of Moria under such intense political scrutiny. Cyril Ramaphosa wasn't just there to show face. He was there looking for something, redemption, connection, maybe even salvation. But what he got left him and his entire entourage visibly shaken. Sources close to the ZCC leadership claim that Ramaphosa's visit wasn't part of the original plan. Invitations to political figures are usually tightly coordinated, and the church has long maintained its neutral stance. But this year, the president requested to address the pilgrims directly. In a break from tradition, Bishop Barnabas Lekenen allowed Ramaphosa to take the podium, a move that sent shockwaves through the thousand-strong crowd. Some cheered. Some watched in absolute silence. All eyes were on him. And just as he began to speak, the skies reportedly clouded over briefly, and a gust of wind swept across the arena. For many pilgrims, this was no coincidence, it was a sign. Ramaphosa's message was meant to be one of unity, hope, and national healing. He spoke of rebuilding trust between the government and the people, tackling corruption, and drawing inspiration from the discipline and faith of the ZCC. But then, something unexpected happened. Just as he was closing his speech, a group of elders, dressed in white and green ZCC regalia, slowly walked forward. The choir stopped. The drums paused. You could hear a pin drop. One of the elders, speaking softly in Sepedi, turned toward the president and said something that wasn't picked up by microphones. Ramaphosa nodded respectfully, but those nearby say his face visibly changed. Something had been revealed to him. Something personal. Something profound. What was said remains a mystery. But what followed wasn't. As the choir resumed, the entire gathering erupted into a powerful praise session. People were seen crying, some falling to their knees in what many described as a spirit-filled moment. Even members of the presidential security detail looked overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of emotion pulsing through Moria. After the president stepped down, Bishop Lekenen approached the mic, not with a political message, but with a warning cloaked in faith. Not all who lead the people walk with clean hands, he said in Sepedi. But the time of reckoning approaches, and Moria sees beyond appearances. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Many interpreted it as a veiled message to Ramaphosa, and to others in positions of power. Within hours, clips of the event flooded social media. Hashtags like #MoriaProphecy, #Ramaphosa at ZCC, and #BishopSpeaks began trending. Twitter and TikTok became flooded with theories, some saying the bishop had predicted Ramaphosa's fall, others suggesting he had blessed him for a spiritual rebirth. Analysts say this moment could mark a major turning point in Ramaphosa's presidency. Not politically, but spiritually. The visit to Moria wasn't just symbolic. For many, it was a sign of desperation, a president seeking legitimacy beyond the polls. A senior ZCC member, who chose to remain anonymous, told reporters that Ramaphosa had met privately with Bishop Lekenen before the event. What was said behind closed doors remains confidential, but some believe that Ramaphosa was warned of future political storms and was urged to clean his house before 2026. Others claim that the president was visibly shaken not because of prophecy, but because of overwhelming spiritual energy. One member of his delegation reportedly broke down in tears after the event, calling it a life-altering experience. What's certain is this: Moria 2025 will be remembered not just for its sheer size or spiritual intensity, but for the moment a sitting president was humbled before a sea of believers. Whether Ramaphosa was warned, blessed, or exposed, only time will tell. But as Bishop Lekanyen said in closing, truth walks with time. And time is no longer waiting. Did Moria change the course of South Africa's political destiny? Or was it simply a moment of reflection in a time of crisis? One thing's for sure, Ramaphosa will never forget what happened at Moria 2025.